episode 40-something.
Hey.
We're so damn successful, we don't even keep track anymore.
That's right.
Remember, like, episode 7 of Down the Cheezehole. Well, hey, we're so damn successful. We're like Joe Rogan now at this point. We don't even keep track.
Right.
I have one small story I want to talk about since I just brought up Joe Rogan, and then we have an interview.
Okay.
We have an interview with... Actually, let's talk about the story. I brought up Joe Rogan, and there was a story this week that Wisconsin Poison Control tracked 17 cases of ivermectin poisoning this year.
Yeah, which that's a medicine intended for animals.
For horses.
Oh,
for horses, to get rid of worms in horses.
Deworming.
Well, yeah, and that's probably because is this related to Joe Rogan using a
Joe Rogan
horse?
used this.
Okay.
He did.
He had COVID. Okay, and then he used this, and he claims it helped him, beat off COVID. I shouldn't say beat off.
Well, you did.
Yeah, it helped him. Him get over COVID.
It's one way to take care of it
in short order. And I listen to Joe Rogan, and he's out there sometimes. I mean, but this is typical Joe Rogan. But he has a lot of loyal followers, like a lot, millions.
That's
millions
why it's so important
people.
that these people do things that are smart.
Yeah, they don't realize like how influential they are.
Right.
So
Yeah.
all these people going around to their local fleet farm, picking up, I don't know if I'm even saying this right, ivermectin or ivermectin.
Yeah.
And I don't know, these chewables, are they suppositories? Like, what do you do with this stuff?
So it does say that according to the FDA, it does have use in humans, but it's extremely specific, and it's used to treat parasitic worms in humans if they get it, or skin conditions such as head lice or
prescribed
rosacea.
by a doctor.
Right,
Yeah.
not just going down to Tractor Supply.
Yeah, I need some ivermectin, some baling twine.
Well, it says a horse takes 3. I guess I'll just start with 1.5. I don't know.
A horse weighs approximately 1,000 pounds. Yeah. I just was like, gosh, you talk about... I had never heard of this as a treatment for COVID until the whole Rogan thing.
Yep.
And then I started seeing it all over the news. I'm like, oh, here we go.
I want to know where people get the idea. Just like look at it and think, that could work.
Yeah, well, who was the first one?
Now listen, I'm not going to take this vaccine, but this horse dewormer, I might do.
That seems to make sense.
That makes sense to me. I know that.
COVID, worm, they're similar.
Do you just go through the egg aisle of ointments and medications and be like, it, I'm going to try all of them. Well, anyway, so we have an interview today.
Yep. Speaking of animals and that may need
Speaking
deworming.
of animals, it would be okay to give this animal ivermectin. Andy, our best internet guy ever for tracking down interviews, got a hold of Jessica, who isn't the woman who had the cow in her backseat, but she's the one who took the photo.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the best we could do.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the best we could do.
Aspiring videographer, I'm assuming.
We're recording red, is that right?
Yep, should be good.
Okay.
Yep.
So we got a hold of Jessica. We're going to call her right now, and we're going to talk to her about photographing the cow in the backseat. Is this the direction this is facing?
That should be good.
Okay.
We are not technologically inclined here.
Hello.
Good morning, Jessica. This is Jeff with Down the Cheezehole.
Good morning.
Hey, thank you for doing this with us.
Yeah, definitely.
So you are now internet famous.
Yeah, I guess you'd say that.
You know
Yeah.
what sucks is the cow got famous, but you took the photo.
Yeah, but that's the thing is the story is in the cow and the people who had the cow. I just took the video.
Yeah,
but this
still.
is BS. You were
Yeah.
the one that made this all possible.
That cow wouldn't
I mean,
have
that's
anything if you didn't
accurate.
capture it.
Technically, they made it possible by putting the cow in the vehicle.
Oh, okay, fair enough. So this was in a McDonald's drive-thru, right?
It was, yes, in Marshfield, Wisconsin.
Did you do a double take? And when you're like, oh, look, I'm going to order a hamburger. There is a hamburger right there in the back seat.
Well, minus the fact that I was there for a chicken sandwich. But I definitely did a double take. It threw me off at first because I thought it was fake until the head moved. And then that's when I was just like, that's not fake. That's real. That's when I brought my phone out.
Were you the only one recording this?
I guess that there's another video out there. The lady just didn't post it on Facebook, but I looked around and no one else seemed to be caring that there was a cow in the
Which
back
is
of
just
a
so
car.
Wisconsin right there in
Yeah,
itself. I
it's
mean,
like, oh, there's a cow in the back seat.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. Everyone was like, oh, it's not that unheard of. And I was like, okay, putting a cow in your car, not that unheard of, but going through a drive-through, that's where the strange portion came into
So
play.
we had a discussion on this. We were thinking, like, was the drive-through a play to actually get noticed with a cow in your back seat, or do you think they just got hungry?
At first I thought that until I realized that it was like an older gentleman that was driving the car.
Oh.
He got
and
hungry.
then I was like, he probably literally was just hungry and didn't think anything of it because he's a farmer,
Right.
It's not that big of a deal.
So is this the craziest thing you've ever seen happening in a back seat?
Well,
Probably not.
Well, I'm not gonna go down that road. This is a family podcast.
You asked the question.
I did. I asked the hard questions.
no. Do you know the driver of the car?
I don't know him personally. I found out his name because of some family members that were just like, "Hey, that was my uncle. That was
Of course it was.
my family member."
Yeah, it's Marshfield.
Yeah.
People know people.
Yeah.
It's not like it's...
Exactly. Everybody knows everybody.
I've actually heard at the bank they have cow treats when
Oh,
you're going
yeah.
for the drive-through.
Would your cow like? What do you feed a cow? Grass?
I don't
Is it
know.
just like
a
little
lolly
grass?
for you and some
Yeah.
grass for your cow.
Did you get any like negative feedback for doing this? Or like, hey, you shouldn't have done that to Farmer Joe. That was mean. Or has everybody just been like, damn?
Basically, everybody has been on board with the cow video. I did see a couple things that were like, "Oh my gosh, that cow has to be hot." I'm like, "Do you realize that they're literally the car is on?"
Right.
Yeah, right.
There was humans in the vehicle. If
Right.
the humans can survive, that cow can survive.
Yeah, this wasn't an unattended cow in a Walmart parking lot with
Right.
the windows rolled up, and we
Yeah.
had to jump into action, break those windows, and save that cow.
Exactly. It would have gone viral for a whole different reason. If
Yeah.
that was
Why do I
the
feel like
case.
that's next week's stories?
Well, Jessica, I want you to keep your eyes open for things like this. I feel like you've got a knack, maybe for finding the oddball news, and we could have you as a regular guest. Maybe just anytime you see something, can we get the break on it though? Can you report it to us first next time?
Well, we'll see. I went viral for this one, and
No
they
guarantee.
like to pay
Oh.
you for viral things.
This went right to your head
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
This went right to your head.
No, let me tell you, I don't want to go viral again. This has been so overwhelming that I'm just like,
Really?
one time and we're done. Yeah, so many people reach out to you when you have a viral video.
For real?
What's the biggest? What's the
Yeah. Here we thought we were
Inside Edition.
No.
No way.
Yeah, I was on Inside Edition. They did a FaceTime with me and everything.
Oh, we're just
Oh
small
my
potatoes.
gosh.
Nobody even listens to our podcast, so this will have no impact on your life.
This
trust
is
me.
seriously more for our
Listen,
entertainment than anyone
I was so
else's.
thrilled when you guys messaged me. I was like, through the Cheezehole. I was like, that's like,
Yeah.
that has to be so Wisconsin.
Yeah, it is. It tries to be so Wisconsin.
Yep.
We're just a few knuckleheads in a basement in northern Wisconsin that talk about oddities in Wisconsin, and you fit the bill. Well, you didn't fit the bill, but what you recorded did.
Yep.
Right, and I've caught other things. I found a pit bull one time hanging from a tire swing.
Yes,
Jump up,
I've seen those
grab
videos.
onto it, and
Yes.
he'd swing in a circle. Yep, I've got one of those.
See, you were right. You do have a knack
Yeah,
for the
she's got a
oddities.
knack. She's
Wow.
got an eye for it. I wonder, are you born with that? Is it hereditary, or you're just like, man, she's alert? I think she's alert.
Well, well, let me tell you, I
Quick draw
work
on
in
the
the
phone.
public, so I keep my eye open for everything all the time.
Sure.
You work in the public. Well,
Yes.
Can you elaborate on that or no? And if you can't, that's no big deal.
No, I can't. I'm a barber, so
Okay.
like I talk for a living. I
Oh,
I see
you're
people
that-
for a living.
You're that woman when I sit in the seat, you're like, so what are you doing this weekend? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like cleaning my garage. And then you're like, oh, what's in your garage? And I'm like, I don't know. Dirt.
I am that person. I've had multiple people tell me like that's the most I've ever talked during a haircut. Like, well, if you want to come back, I'll be here, and if I talk too much for you, I'm sorry.
Do you want to give a plug for your chair? You're more than welcome to give a shout out otherwise you don't have to.
No, Beards and Shears in Marshfield, Wisconsin. I only cut men's hair, do beards and such, waxing of eyebrows, but I stay away from color.
Yeah, I could use
women's
those eyebrows.
Yeah, we got some bushy eyebrows. We'll be down to see you.
I got a
soon.
unibrow I got to shave every
We'll be
week.
down-
So
We're going to be down in Marshfield soon to get these eyebrows taken care of.
Hey, well, I'm right down the road from Nuts Deep, the bar.
Oh,
so if
stop!
you haven't heard of that, you need to come down
Cool.
and see that.
Yeah.
Eric loves Nuts Deep.
That's the crazy. I bet he does. That's the craziest thing you've ever seen in a back seat. Well, thank you for joining us. We know you have to go to work. Your time is valuable, and who knows what you could be missing that you could be recording for next time. So
Right.
don't waste your time with us fools. And
Well, thank you guys so much.
we
Thank
hope
you.
to have you on again. And Andy will follow up with you because everybody who talks on air gets a T-shirt.
Oh, well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so he'll get with you on a size and an address, and thanks for joining us.
Wonderful. Thank you guys so much.
Have a good
wonderful
one.
day.
Yep.
Thanks.
Bye.
Yep, bye.
Well, that was nice.
Dare I say one of our better interviews?
I feel like top notch.
Yeah, you can tell that she talks to people
She's
for a
good at
living
it.
that
Yep.
she doesn't know.
Yeah.
And she has the pit bull swinging around. I know exactly what video that is.
I like how you called it too. Like you were like, "Oh yeah, you're the type of person that sees things."
Yeah.
And
Cool.
and it sounds like we are now one step above Inside Edition. So
Maybe. In her eyes,
Outside
anyway.
edition.
yep.
Gosh, that was classic.
How do we go? Where do we go from?
I don't
know.
know.
I
I don't know.
We have a really long list of topics today.
Well, I think where we go from here is car hits buggy in Portage County, multiple injuries, because this could be in Marshfield too.
This is such a common thing in Wisconsin.
Is it common?
Yes. When
I
I
don't think
lived,
it's common.
no, when I lived in southern part of the state, we were right around like Partyville area, which has a very high Amish population. It was every summer there was like Amish people killed.
Now, why is it common? Why?
Because they're driving down county roads and people are stupid and going too fast, don't see them at dark, and they run into them.
They
And a buggy
typically
doesn't
have
hold up
those-
well to a
the
car crash.
slow-moving triangles, and now I've seen they usually have like battery-operated lights.
Yeah.
You know, not brake lights, but like driving lights.
But
so
I
to
mean,
speak.
I've driven down county roads down there that just had the reflective sign, and you know, you come over a hill, it's right there.
Yeah.
There's nothing really
I
that.
remember, I don't know how long ago it was, but the Amish were kind of fighting that because, you know, they're plain black and white, no colors. And
Right.
to put on that bright orange sign,
Yeah.
they were against that and eventually came around to it. But it doesn't sound like it's maybe not helping all that much. If
Not
if
all
they're-
that. I mean, maybe it was.
This was in Junction City, sounds
yeah.
like?
Yep.
I always feel bad when I see them in those little buggies. Like it's raining, it's
know.
dark. It's like, man, just can I give you my car? And they'd be like,
They'll take rides.
do they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like there would be a lot of times you go into Quick Trip and there would be like 10 or 12 of them in the Quick Trip buying stuff, and then they'd hop into a couple vans and someone would give them a ride home.
I should just next time I see one and it's raining, I'll just say, "You park that horse and buggy. I'm taking you home tonight."
You put that thing back in the stable. We're going home.
Well, they're just gonna have to put it on the side of the road, like when a trailer loses a wheel. They're
come-
just gonna put that little buggy on the side of the road. Hope the horse stays. Stay. Jump in my car.
Oh, no,
You
you
come
come put
with
the horse in your back seat.
Perfect. You come with me. We're cleaning
Where's
my garage
Jessica-
this weekend.
Where's Jessica when we need her? Yeah, that's a good idea. Put the horse in the back seat and take the family home.
That's kidnapping.
So, what could help is
Yeah?
if they had like crossing guard type things to help the buggies on the side of the road.
You know what?
That would help.
But we have a shortage of them.
Son of a
There's a shortage of everything right now. There's a shortage of restaurant workers. There's a shortage of
Everything.
crossing guards in Madison, apparently.
Yeah.
There's an all-time high population of people and a shortage of everything.
Yeah. You go figure. So okay, not to get off on a tangent, but my wife's dad needed medical assistance. This is within the last 24 hours. Okay. And the news reports have been stating bed shortage in hospitals due to COVID. Well, the bed shortage, as it was portrayed last night, it's because of lack of help. It's that there's available beds, but not enough nurses or people to take care of them. It's the equivalent of walking into a restaurant and there being all the tables empty, and you're like, "Why
With
can't I
one
get a table?"
waitress.
Because we have one waitress,
Right.
and we can put you at a table, but you're not going to get served, and then you're going to leave us a Karen review. So the same thing is actually happening in hospitals: is that there's beds available, but there's not enough nurses, doctors. So it's like, what the heck? Almost my second F-bomb. This. I wish you did. I wish we could be explicit, but I understand that you want us to be this way, Andy. That's fine. But
He just dropped the B word a little bit.
he did. Andy got,
Well, I was
Andy
very
got
upset about
belligerent.
this lack of crossing guards.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so back to the what isn't there a shortage of? So
Yes.
Madison reports. First of all, I thought crossing guards were a volunteer position.
It might be.
Well, it's just that was kind of going to be my point too. I mean, no offense, but can't like anyone be a crossing guard?
How? Can you look both ways? That's there's
How can you not
qualifications.
find some kid that can do this?
Well, it's typically like I know in most small towns, it's like volunteered
Yep, sure.
retirement people stand there and help the kids cross the
Parents
street.
or
But I mean, we're talking Madison, so although there should be technically more retired people there, so what's the story?
Well,
That just Madison has a shortage of crossing guards.
basically, they're basically. I think the story is more to like try to get people to sign up
Yeah,
for it.
yeah.
It's more of just like, hey, we need you.
I mean, I've seen these stories of there's bus driver shortages everywhere, and all the logistics.
Bus driver shortages.
because there's shortages everywhere. When it starts to hit essential things like hospitals and schools, then it's like, oh shoot,
Now
like,
it's news.
You're like, yeah, well, yeah. Now what do we do? Because how are we going to get these kids to school? So there's
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I wish the media would do the stories. Wish they wouldn't sensationalize things. They'd just report them for what they are. And I know that the whole isn't that unemployment benefit deal ending soon? And everyone says, well, that isn't going to send people back to work. Well, better. Seriously.
If it doesn't, we're totally a lost cause.
Yeah. I'm confused by this whole thing. Wages are at an all-time high. Inflation is at an all-time. Well, I shouldn't say that. It seems like inflation is about to be at an all-time high. Yet there's jobs everywhere. Nobody willing to work. I'm confused. All right.
Okay.
Well, since we're complaining, Karen's here.
Yes.
Hey.
Karen, can you come complain for us? Karen said, sure.
Yeah.
And
Very
she was
Karen-esque.
really close to Eric.
Fine, if I have to.
Yes. I think that Karen is done with us. I think she only does this at this point because we make her.
I think she loves it.
I just feel bad for you.
This isn't the microphone, Karen, for the record. This is.
Oh, sorry.
That's funny.
I hope that's on video. Yeah. So I'm going to McDonald's in Marshfield, Wisconsin.
Hey.
Do you know why? Because that's where the cow is in the drive-thru.
Yep.
Karen, what did you see?
I cannot eat at your place because everything has such a high sodium content. Would love to see some effort to serve those of us who have to deal with sodium restrictions. There's more of us than you can imagine.
Wow, is that a threat?
Yeah, that's
Well, hold on here. Karen, can you tell us why you think the regional McDonald's in Marshfield is going to deal with the McDonald's sodium?
because this is just like a Karen. A Karen thinks that a national, worldwide chain is going to change for a few people.
And she told the 15-year-old high school student, I'm behind the cash register, this problem too. Because
Probably. I'd love. She's standing in the McDonald's because there's too much sodium and everything, which is like McDonald's MO. Oversalt the fries.
Go somewhere else.
Yeah. Everything. We serve sodium.
Yeah.
Sodium is our menu.
And it's always all about me.
Yes. Karen, you play the part so well. I love you for it. Okay. But the reason I picked this review was because it was left at the Marshfield McDonald's.
Right.
Yeah.
Not headquartered, nothing.
Nope. I'm going after the local Marshfield McDonald's to adjust their menu, which comes shipped in a McDonald's truck, to reduce the sodium content. I love these. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't even know where to go.
I don't know. That cheered me up, though.
There's some news that came out. The Wisconsin DNR did a study of like what was coming through the landfills and like recycling centers. And the reason this story caught my eye is because our household is so completely guilty of this, and it irritates me to no end. It's like one of my push button items at our household is
Just throwing everything away.
yeah. So Wisconsin residents could conserve more food and recycle more paper, a state DNR study finds. And there was quite a few stories on this, and I tried to give you guys one, but it wouldn't let me link to it because it was one of those stupid ones behind a paywall. But it actually had statistics on like 30% of the stuff that comes through is food waste.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
I got mine to load.
Yep.
Okay. So at our house, we throw away so much food. It drives me insane. Yeah. The kids, like half their plates get scraped into the garbage. I was brought up in a Polish mother's household where Clean Plate Club, you were sitting there until your plate was empty and food did not get scraped into the garbage can.
In elementary school, we were forced to clear our tray, even.
Well, now with obesity, I think that's part of it. And I'm fat. Okay, fine. But I would rather not be sending my food to a garbage place.
I agree.
How do you guys feel about this? Like, do you feel like is your house? I would bet, Andy, that you're raising your kids right.
Oh, we got the Clean Plate Club. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah. They will sit there all night.
Is it, and it's not that they're taking too much portion.
No.
It's just like they're saying, I don't want to eat it.
Yep. Yeah. They are easily distracted, can't focus. Yep. Well, so much so that our middle child went to first grade this week for the first time, and first day at lunch he had his plate full of food, and he ended up missing recess because he thought I have to stay here and eat all this.
That's awesome.
So we told him, eat what you can. When it's time to go out, you can go out. So they're learning. They're learning in our house.
You just opened the door. Yeah. You just opened the door. You should have taught him. That's right. You're gonna miss recess until you eat all that beefy mac.
Unfortunately, I have no issue with the Clean Plate Club.
Well, it's just two of you.
Yeah.
But you're going to get there someday.
Yeah.
My wife's point of view on it is like, pick your battles. Don't pick it over like throwing 2 raviolis in the garbage. And it's just like, I just watch them scrape it in there. I had this thing where I was making our youngest son he had to take all the food that he didn't eat and scrape it into a Rubbermaid container, Tupperware container, and store it for the week, and then eat it at the end of the week. It lasted, yeah, just to show him how much food he was wasting. I was like, all right, throw it in your container, and you're going to eat it on Friday. So, there'd be like 2 raviolis, a little bit of spaghetti, some fish, a half a hamburger, some French fries.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah, well, but my point was, like,
Not a week later altogether.
Yeah, week later, giddy up. You're going to eat it. But anyway, back to what the story is.
Yep.
Yeah.
So more than 30% of the state's trash is made up of food that was once edible, like peels, bones, coffee grounds. Paper accounted for more than 21% of trash, and plastic more than 17%. So yeah.
So no one's even recycling.
Yeah. I mean, put the paper in the right spot.
I recycle.
Yeah, I think that recycling. What's weird is, I don't know if it's laziness or there's some places where it's just like it's not very well policed or governed.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I guess like it's always changing, like the things that actually are recyclable. I think people are just not very educated on it, what you can actually recycle.
Yeah. And I don't know how they do it either, because when we first started getting our trash picked up, there was a bin for glass and tin and paper.
Now it all goes in one bag.
Now they want it all together, and so I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, so do some more recycling, Wisconsin.
Stop throwing away your food
and clean your
plates. Yeah.
Or if you don't,
crying out
if you have to
loud.
throw away food, like just chuck it outside,
For the animals,
like in your garden or something, or with the animals.
compost. Yeah, compost. Yeah.
Just chuck it outside. I would do that, except my dog would like eat it and roll in it and then barf it up on my carpet later.
Sure.
And then I'd have paper towels and his barf in my recyclables.
Right. So it's really evening out in the end.
Yeah, I'd have dog barf, paper towels. Yeah. So I don't know if I agree with you on chuck it outside. Maybe chuck some things outside. Throw them high into trees where they can hang.
Sure.
The Iowa Grant School District has to change their COVID-19 policy because they're going to have to cancel their sports season. Can you, Andy? This is your story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know about it? Well,
I scanned
it's
it.
Iowa Grant is a small school district, southwest Wisconsin, and the deal is that they're not enforcing their quarantining. Like a connection to a connection. If you knew of somebody, if you were a first connection.
Is anybody enforcing that anymore?
Well, so that's the deal. So let's say you have your volleyball team, and one of the 12 girls test positive for COVID.
Right.
Well, okay, so she's out. But the rest of us 11, we're going to travel to your school and play. And the other schools are not happy with that, apparently.
So they're canceling.
So
the other schools
they're saying, we're not going to play you. Okay, so that's what the other schools are saying. So now they're saying, well, we got to change our policy or we're not going to get these games.
So that's what this story was
Yep.
that Iowa Grant has kind of taken the approach that if one person has it, shouldn't bring the whole team down.
Correct,
But
yep.
the other schools are saying, well, if one person has it, you are bringing the whole team
Yep,
down.
and we're not going to play you.
That is I've noticed, if anything, I've noticed with COVID, which we've got more COVID now than we did a year ago when we were all scared shitless. And that's a fact, I think. I think it's 3 times more cases right now as of today than there was this
Like
same
on this
time
date
last year.
last
Yeah. But what I have noticed is, number one, there's probably more than that because I know more people right now who've had it in the last 30 days than I did last summer.
So do I.
Who had it. And none of them went and got tested. They're just like, oh, yeah, I got it. I can tell. I can't smell. I can't taste. I feel like So I think there's less people reporting it. But I will also say that because they're self-diagnosing, so to speak, there isn't that whole quarantine thing going on. I think people are just like over it. And proof of being over it is the Badgers had a sold-out home game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they had 80-some thousand people. The Brush Run in Crandon had record attendance, record drivers.
Yep. We just had Summerfest.
Summerfest just happened.
Yep.
So I guess what this makes me think, I've been all over on COVID. I've been in the camp where it's going to cripple us as a country economically.
Yes, yeah, me too.
I've been to the point where I still don't want to get it. I haven't had it. I don't want to get it. I'll say that. I got the vaccine. I'm not ashamed to say that. But I also don't want it to cripple us economically. So we've been balls to the walls all summer on events.
Yeah.
And I get that we've got more than we had last summer, but also is like, it doesn't seem like it's had the detrimental impact we all thought it would have. And this is supposedly the Delta variant, which is more deadly. I don't know. Like, what's the true story here? I'm going down a weird road for us. We normally
One, I don't really
this.
know how to answer because I just don't know.
Well,
I mean,
it's just like we're so fear-driven a year or 18 months ago, and are we just over the fear? And it's like COVID isn't gonna kill me.
At some point, people just have made up their mind on how they're going to approach the situation, and they just said it is what it is. I mean, I've done what I can, or I've chosen my path, and I'm going to accept it.
Yeah. So the Badgers had 81,000 people at their home game that got to get up, jump and jump around.
Yeah, for the first time since 2019, 75,000? What did you say?
I thought it was 80-some thousand, 81,000. I thought it was a sold
Yep.
out.
Yep.
11 students arrested only.
Yeah, I did see that.
So that was the transition story. That
All of the 11 students were drinking.
Yep. So we had the first game back in 2 years and 600 and some days, and 12 citations and 11 students arrested at the game. So it's
not bad
we're
numbers,
getting
really.
right back on that wagon.
Well, also COVID's and drinking related. Wisconsin alcohol tax was at an all-time high. We collected 17% more tax on alcohol in Wisconsin.
That's a lot.
The past year. Yeah.
That's that's a considerable
that
amount.
means I would think it has a direct correlation to consumption of the same degree, because the tax is, I believe it's static. I don't think it's like more on beer than it is on whiskey, as an example. So let's say, I don't know what the alcohol tax is, but let's say it's 10% for easy math. So if there was $1 million of alcohol sold and it was 10%, that went up 17%. That means we sold 17% more alcohol.
Yep.
Way to go, Wisconsin.
Yep. Yeah. Between 2009 and 2020, the percentage increase in alcohol tax revenue exceeded 2.4% in only 1 year. Now it's 17 from this last year.
Wow.
So do you think in the past year, is that past 12 calendar months, or was that like, how did they measure that? I'm curious. Because was it this past summer?
It was June 30 to June 30, so I think it's a fiscal year.
Yeah.
June 30 to June 30.
Or,
so it didn't even include this summer.
July 1 to June 30. No.
Look out, because I think people drank more this summer.
I know, me too.
So,
Yeah.
so recyclables in Three Lakes, we take our recyclables and you dump them in this dumpster, and I was amazed by the number of beer bottles, not consumed by me necessarily, but like I was like, how do we have that many beer bottles every week?
Well, that was when COVID first started. That was kind of a running joke in the suburbs about all the recycling bins just full of Karen's wine bottles. Just heaps and heaps of wine bottles coming out to the curb every week.
Oh my goodness.
I get it.
We're number one in a lot of things.
We're number one.
Some of them are good, cranberries, cheese.
Yep.
For some reason, we have this weird pride of being number one in drinking, and I support it as best I can. But I don't know that we should be proud.
Speaking of rankings, do we have time for a quick? I have a question for you. Where do you think Wisconsin ranks in out of the states that you're most likely to be killed by an animal?
Oh.
I found a chart on Facebook. I don't know its accuracy, but we're going to go with it.
I would say like middle up. Do you want me to?
I'm gonna take a guess. I'll
This
say
is a surprise. He doesn't know about this either.
I'll say 19.
Yeah, that's kind of. I was thinking like higher than 25,
'Cause
closer to 1 than 25, but lower than 20. I was thinking like 22.
I feel like it's going to be similar to that rankings we had last time of states that work the hardest, because I feel like those states like
Before you say,
those
yeah.
ranch states where
I was going to say, what do you think are number one top
Well,
three?
just states with deadly snakes, alligators, bobcat,
Florida.
cougars, yeah. So anything where
Florida's
you've
got anything that'll kill you.
Yes, I think mountain lion states, grizzly states, and deadly snakes.
Those
states.
are higher than like the southern.
I would. Okay. So yeah, give us
Number one is Montana.
That was going to be my guess.
I
was going to guess
Montana, Wyoming,
And your
Colorado.
odds are 1 in 674,000.
Oh,
Number 2 is West Virginia.
Wouldn't have guessed that.
what is it? Was there
The
deadly
mountains of-
snakes?
I don't know.
Spiders? You fall off a mountain? No, was it an animal kill?
Animal. Killed by an animal.
What is West Virginia's killing people?
Wisconsin is number 9.
What?
Ooh.
How?
It's your odds aren't that high.
But how can it
anywhere,
even be
so
9?
It's number 9.
Like
It goes-
Alaska's got to be up there.
Alaska's number 4. So it goes Montana, West Virginia, South Dakota, Alaska,
Dakota.
Idaho, Tennessee, Texas, Arkansas, Wisconsin, Mississippi.
That doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Getting stuck by a
Our
bowl.
our odds are 1 in 1,122,000.
I think we must just be dumber. Because the odds are based on probably true statistics. It's like, okay, that guy got killed by a pit bull.
Well, I also had a question that I asked Andy this earlier. That chart did not go into is it a wild animal, or are we talking get kicked by a cow?
Oh.
I don't know, because those things could factor.
Oh.
Yeah,
I didn't.
I just thought it was
I had
interesting.
not considered.
I thought that was
I had
interesting.
not considered.
Well, that's why I thought a state like Montana would be high, because one, there's the more wild type animals.
We recording?
Yeah. Yep.
We are. I mean, we're number 9. We're living on the edge every day
But
here, guys.
Montana's also got a lot of ranches and things like that where you might get
True enough.
gored
yeah,
by a
so
bull.
you're double whammy.
You think
there.
COVID's going to get you? We got rabid raccoons running around everywhere.
Rabid raccoons, another thing I
Yeah.
hadn't considered.
Didn't think of that.
Bats.
That's why we have him. That's why we have him. He considers the inconsiderable. We're on high school and sports.
Yeah,
and
sorry,
everything
that
else.
was- I went off on a tangent.
Wisconsin high school players in the NFL for the 2021 season. There's a list.
There's quite a few.
Can you? There's like 20 plus. So I don't know that we want to name all of them, but can you name the notables? Exclude the Watts. We all know them.
All three of them.
Well, I can list, and this does include practice players. So there's 31 players
From Wisconsin high schools in
from
the
Wisconsin
NFL.
high schools on rosters
That's
or
cool.
practice
I wonder where we
squads.
rank on that list. That's got to be
I don't know how
high.
to Google that.
The list includes marquee names like the Watt brothers,
The Watt brothers are 10% of the list.
Brandon Brooks, Melvin Gordon, Joe Schobert.
Oh, I forgot that Melvin Gordon's actually from Wisconsin.
There are 6 newcomers this year.
Kenosha.
6 newcomers this year. Cole Van Lanen, of course, we talked about him. He got cut, but he's on the Packers practice squad. Davian Nixon went to Kenosha Indian Trail. He plays for Carolina.
Just by quick glance, what's the smallest recognizable school on there?
The smallest high school.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got Iola Scandinavia.
That's, who is that?
That is Christian Welch. He went to Iowa State and plays for Baltimore.
Cool. I do have the top 10 states with the most players.
Okay.
Oh, you do?
As of
No
2020.
other small schools?
This was September 2020, though, so it's last year. But
There's a Grafton, Edgerton,
Who you got? No, Grafton and Edgerton.
Bo Benzwashel. I don't know. He plays for the Washington football team. Let's see.
How does Washington not have a new name yet?
That because
They're taking their time.
Yeah. Derek Carrier went to Beloit from Edgerton, and he plays for the Las Vegas Raiders. So they're new players I was mentioning. Let's see. Quinn Marinez, we mentioned him, the gut guy.
Oh, yeah.
He, from
Went to
Hartford.
Whitewater?
Went to Whitewater, plays for
gut
Denver.
guy.
So he made the Denver roster?
yeah.
He did, I
Yeah.
think. And a guy named Chris Garrett, who played for Wisconsin Lutheran High School. I would think that's fairly small. He went to Concordia St. Paul, which is my alma mater, and it plays for the Los Angeles Rams.
Is that D2 or D3?
D2.
Cool.
So there's some new ones, but yeah, there's a good sizable list here.
Isn't the local tackle, boy, his name is escaping me right now, who lives in Eagle River in the summertime?
Ramchick or whatever.
No. I think he's actually went to Wisconsin high school too. It doesn't matter since I can't
Is it
remember.
Kevin
his name.
Zietler?
Yeah, Zietler.
Yeah.
Yep. He went to.
He's full on Wisconsin boy.
Cool.
Plays for the Ravens.
Represent.
On the Ravens. What do you got there?
Florida, Texas, California, Georgia, Ohio, Alabama, Pennsylvania, and Louisiana.
That all seems
No
legit.
Scotty. Does it have how many do they have?
That was of last
oh,
year.
Geez. A lot
more.
Florida
Florida
has
and Texas are
Florida
almost
has
200.
almost 200.
Yeah.
Okay, we suck. Keep drinking.
We still love us.
Keep drinking Wisconsin. There's some students on a bus
I like
who
this
are
one.
not destined for the NFL.
No. These they're more destined for suspension.
I thought this was a school bus. Did
It
you
is,
not? Is it
yeah.
not a school bus?
It's they were riding a Badger school bus to Verona High School, and as a 15-year-old, he ignited a firework that exploded in the bus aisle. The bus driver initially believed shots had been fired, which
So
is
this-
just
of
sad.
course,
Yeah.
and this had to be a big firework. It's not like
Or
you just lit a
firecrackers,
sparkler.
like pop, 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 like
Yeah.
Well, but kids were burned. I'm thinking it
Yeah.
was like a mortar or something stupid.
Roman candle.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be something significant.
Yeah. But there was no huge, major injuries, but there were 3 students who suffered minor burns. Yeah. Real smart move.
Yeah. Way to go.
It burnt.
It burned.
Still one of my favorite quotes from this entire podcast.
At least he didn't burn down his girlfriend's garage. He
How
just lit him off on the school bus.
What is it? It burnt.
I didn't. It's
I don't want to. I'm not laughing at the misfortune.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. A little
They're just how the misfortune went down.
Yeah.
There's a Wisconsin dude traveling I-90 got pulled over.
Looking to burn a few things himself.
Yeah, he was burning both ends.
Yeah.
53 pounds of weed in his car.
That's a significant amount of weed.
Yeah, he's going back to Plainfield. He's the main dude supplying Plainfield with weed.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. That's a lot. I mean, picture like a hay bale. Like
Yeah,
that weighs like.
Good point.
And that's dried out, kind of like that's a lot of weed.
That is like a hay
know,
bale worth. Yeah.
right.
It probably is. I bet you it's right in that vicinity.
wanna see what-
Why would
It
you
said
just
2 duffel bags full.
Why would you? I was just I read that it was in a duffel bag, but if he would have made it in the shape of a hay bale,
Can you bail my weed?
A standard.
Why don't people bail weed?
you could, and then
Yeah.
you'd go incognito. You just throw it on the back of your trailer and drive right down the highway. I
Feed it
just
to
got some
horses and-
alfalfa.
yeah.
You got
Hey.
a bale of alfalfa.
A standard 2-string square bale of hay weighs between 40 and 70 pounds.
So he had a
bale
Right on.
of weed.
And you know what? You go around Wisconsin with a cow in the back of your car and a bale of weed. They're just, oh no, I'm just feeding my cows. I'm driving around. You're gonna get away with it.
You
Happy
could get
cows.
away with it.
Yeah.
Happy farmers, happy cows.
You could get away with it. Just you could even have a wagon full of hay and just have that one bale of
Tucked
weed
in the middle.
Probably shouldn't be talking.
That 1 centy bale of alfalfa.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna be. They won't
How
be
are they
none the
gonna
wiser.
know?
No.
How are they gonna
Well,
know?
52-year-old man coming from Oregon.
No, I thought he was coming from South Dakota.
He was arrested in South
So
Dakota,
he's
caught,
cruising
but he was
through
coming
South
home
Dakota.
from Oregon.
So is Oregon legal to buy 53 pounds
It
or
must
52
be.
pounds
I
of
don't-
weed or something like that?
know.
So he got charged with possession of marijuana in quantities 10 pounds or more, possession with the intent to distribute quantities 1 pound or more, and those are both Class 3 felonies. Each carry a sentence of could up to 15 years and $30,000 in fines.
So it's a felony to have that much weed, and it's
That's
got to be tough to stand in front of the judge and convince him that was just for your own use, personal use. Like, for my glaucoma, Your Honor, I swear.
Right, lifetime supply.
yeah. Now I never have to buy it again.
Right.
Wow. I have a little humidor I keep this in while technically it's a
little.
barn.
It's a silo.
My weed silo.
Yeah, well, why don't you tell us, is there anything happening in Wisconsin this weekend?
Yeah,
that
there
we
are.
should be aware of?
There's more events where you can go and get together with people. There's the let's see. There's the Chili Mania. You know, it's chili season.
So this event caught my eye because I like Mania. Mm-hmm. I had never considered an event naming it. You know, there's WrestleMania, but like
not weird.
Chili Mania is fantastic name.
Yeah, it is.
So this is held annually in Edgerton. Chili Mania is home to the Wisconsin State Champion Chili Cook-Off.
I'm confused by that because every year there's a Wisconsin State Chili Cook-Off, like the state event in Green Lake, and it's the same weekend this weekend too.
But
How many
this-
state Chili Cook-Offs?
This one
are there?
is sanctioned by the CASI, which I assume the C stands for chili. I'll have to look that up.
What if it doesn't?
Yeah. Chili Association.
The Chili Appreciation Society International.
Appreciation. That's not a real.
That's so dumb.
Well, then don't go to Chili
Well,
Mania.
how is it fun? No, not Chili Mania is not dumb, but the fact that there's a chili appreciation
appreciate
society.
it, yeah.
Yep.
How do they fund themselves? Who's contributing?
I don't.
I don't know. I'm guessing they have prize money to give away for this cook-off too.
Yeah, or a trophy.
Well, into that chili goes
golden
some
spoon.
peppers, which you can pick up at the Beaver Dam Pepper Festival. Promotes the cultivation and use
Close by, too.
of peppers.
Yeah, close enough to get
Yeah.
your fresh peppers and then take them on to Chili Mania.
This weekend, we've talked about this event before, but this weekend coming up in Fond du Lac is the
Fondue
Fondue
This
Fest.
was on your quiz
yes,
of events
yep,
and
yep, of whether this was a real thing, and sure enough it is, and it's happening this weekend.
Partyville. I
You
just
mentioned
talked about them.
Partyville. Yep, they have the Watermelon Festival, which is home to the U.S. Watermelon Speed Eating and Seed Spitting Championships.
That's cool. See, now that's cool.
What organization is sanctioning that? Because I'm not buying it.
Watermelon Appreciation.
The Watermelon Appreciation Society of America, WISA.
The melon
Wassa?
appreciation
Yeah.
team.
And everyone appreciates a good melon.
Good melon, yeah.
There's the Sheep and Wool Festival in Jefferson, where you can explore the wonders of wool and make things with your.
Do they thresh?
They do a little wool threshing and make some sweaters and.
Bet
We're
they
going
do.
on 4 weeks in a row. Of
Are they?
threshing
They're
comments.
looming and threshing. I'll
Yes.
bet. At
Well, you can take your loom and your thresher to the Horse and Buggy Days.
Oh, hopefully
in
that-
Waiwega.
Hopefully it goes a little better than the one in Portage County, huh?
Yeah,
What?
way
What?
To,
The horse and buggy.
They got.
Oh
it.
yes. yes.
Way to
Yeah.
way to tie it back around. Yep.
So full circle. Everything comes full
So
circle.
lots of fun events around the state.
And with that, we got another one in the books.
Ooh.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
And good night.